So yeah, prayers for her and hope that situation clears out and gets better. Moving on to another artist, Post Malone has dropped his album. This has been his lowest album selling wise since his first album. Overall, because his first album, and in general overall, out of all his albums, because his first album dropped and it didn't sell much the first week, Stoney. But I don't know if you remember when that album came out, that whole year, like months later, that album did numbers. Like it was like a slow burn. Then months later, it did like 100,000 1 week, blah, blah, blah.
Especially when he started performing it.
When he went on tour and these albums like blew up more and more. Ooh, I fall apart. Those whole classic like Post Malone music songs that just blew up after. And it was like, damn, this is like a slow burn. You know, it's rare to see. And he had that with that album.
You a Post fan?
Oh my God, huge Post Malone fan. I wanna see him live. Like it's crazy.
Like you knew when his album was coming out, you prepared and everything. Like,
woo! Don't get us started, bro. We were on Post Malone SoundCloud.
Early.
He was a SoundCloud rapper.
no, I'm talking about this recent album. Like,
yes,
knew like the promo and everything. You were getting hit.
Yes,
with it.
so
I know
was.
you plugged in, but I'm saying compared to other artists.
I was 100% because of just knowing Post Malone. But when it comes to everyone else, I can see where people forgot this album came out because the promotion was bad. There was like a lackluster sense of rollout for the promo of this album.
A lot of it was him just teasing on like social media.
Yeah, I saw the interview he did with Zane Lowe. Shout out to Zane Lowe, Apple Music, whatever. He's a legend, I guess. He has a crazy resume. But come over here, Post Malone. Let's stop doing Zane Lowe. Everyone's going to Zane Lowe for these Apple Music interviews. And in my opinion, I love Zane Lowe, but there's a lot of dick riding. Oh my, it's your best album yet. It's your best album yet. It's not his best album. And how are you going to tell him that to his face before the album came out without the world getting the opinion first? Now we're going to think it's the best album because Zane Lowe said it. It's not his best album. You know, but I guess you got to fucking, I get it. You got to
sell it.
You got to, he's in front of your face, so you kind of got to, you know,
lick the tip real quick.
For lack of a better term, suck his dick real quick. You got to suck his dick real quick because he's right there. It's like, you got to do that, I guess, right? But
you got a ranking, you got a rating for this album?
I think it's a 7 out of 10. I think it's his worst album. But people take this out of terms just because, and this is a big hot topic I have. I think this year specifically, a lot of artists dropped their worst albums.
Okay.
That doesn't mean necessarily it's a bad album or that's the worst album that's ever released. I'm talking about top tier artists. Future, I think that's his worst album that dropped this year. I love that album, but I think it's his worst album. Okay. Kendrick Lamar, Mr. Morale, The Big Steppers, I think it's his worst album that he dropped in his catalog. Studio albums. But I like that album. I think it's a good album. But I still think it's his worst out of all his albums. Now, Post Malone, again, these are major artists. His worst album. But I still like the album. Specifically when it comes to Post Malone, I think it's because he got more personal than he ever did. It's more of like a diary type of album. Shortest album he's done, 40 minutes long, 14 songs, 40 minutes long. I think there was like an interlude vibe, so you can count, not count it. So technically it's 13 songs. And the promotion was not done well. He had a song that came out last year, Motley Crue, that was kind of dope, a good dope vibe. Wasn't on the album. Then he had a song with Roddy Ricch, Cooped Up, which I didn't play into it too much. I was waiting for the album. And now here on the album, I love it even more, right? Yeah. But that song came out. That was like the only really promotion single for it.
Yeah. So was Cooped Up about the
COVID or pandemic. So feeling cooped up.
So you think with these albums, a lot of these albums got developed.
Canned. They got canned, so they're older. They got probably made
but
to drop last
artists,
year.
Like Future, Kendrick, Post. A lot of these songs probably got developed 2020, 2021. Maybe part of why it's their worst project. Maybe they're depressed. They're not outside. They gotta make a studio deadline.
Yeah.
Kendrick
How you make a song called Cooped Up?
Yeah.
You know That's true. That's very true.
I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out there. Like,
no, I mean
yeah.
Kendrick said he got writer's block for like 3 years or 2 years from making that album. So
he did say that. He did say that. The only one that seems to not have necessarily writer's block or sadness is Future. You know, because he's busy, cooking chickens and what's that song? Puff It on Zooties, and what's the other song that I hate? Oh my God, the one with Young Thug and the controversial one, For a Nut. Boston bitches up for nuts, I guess. You know, so congratulations to him for that. But
Future.
Aside from that, is definitely this album specifically. I think it correlates to that, like more of like a depressive state of mind, time capsule for what he might have been going through the COVID pandemic. But this album, I don't know. I don't think it's necessarily horrible. Like, it's getting kind of trashed online. His numbers are that's not great numbers if we're being honest compared to his previous album, which did like 500,000 first week. For Post Malone to do 100,000 first week,
Did he do more than Jack Harlow?
yeah, more than Jack
Okay.
Harlow, but damn near the same amount, right?
It's pretty much the same. Yeah, that's crazy.
They were comparing him on social media.
I mean,
Jack
I get it. It's white
and
rappers, but
Is
Post Malone,
Is Post a white rapper? Is that how we're gonna categorize him?
well, because he came out as a rapper,
first, yeah.
and the genre of this album is rap hip hop. But I think he's bigger than a rapper.
Yeah,
He's a pop star, right? And he sings
Yeah.
decent, not fucking Ariana Grande, but he could sing and he could play the guitar. He could play piano. He's very, talented when it comes to instruments, and he's like a rock star. Like, he gets rock star energy. But when he came out, I guess it was pure rap. White Iverson. But even that was like, he was rapping, but it was singing, like a melody rap.
Yeah.
Like Jack and Little Dicky's a better comparison than Jack and Post Malone. No, legit.
Definitely.
Nah, for
Legit.
real.
They're more
Nah,
bar. They're more like backpack. They're trying to like
And
straight
Little
rap.
Dicky would eat Jack up.
Yeah,
Lil
Dicky
Yeah,
would eat a
for
lot of
sure.
people up.
Yeah,
Lil
That's
Dicky's
true.
a really great rapper.
they sleep on him.
I think he's dropping soon, but
So
he's busy.
So you know more about this with the streams and the bundles.
Yeah.
So what is that? What's like? I read about that. Like they don't got the bundles, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Yeah.
So I think about 2 to 3 years ago, Billboard had made a decision to not count the bundle sales as a part of the sales for the album. First week, especially.
So was it including like was it including
So
like
it'd be like
sign?
people would buy a bundle, right? And the bundle would be a T-shirt or tickets to concerts,
Okay.
or sometimes like you can buy the bundle and you get like a potential signed item by me, or like a raffle type of energy.
But
maybe.
vinyls would count. Like if I put a
Vinyls
vinyl.
sometimes will be a part of the bundles, but the bundles people use as a tactic, especially like Travis Scott. I
Mhm.
think Nicki Minaj. I think the Nicki Minaj user, or I
Yeah,
think
because she
Juice
was
WRLD-
complaining because that was the time when they said that they weren't gonna count it no more. So
yeah, because it
Nicki
kind of
Minaj
was
was
unfair because it was like an abrupt
Okay.
change, right? It wasn't like a transitional period. It was like an abrupt change, and it's made a lot of people suffer with that. But bundles still drop. Kendrick dropped his bundle, not right away, like days after the album came out. Post Malone dropped his bundle, not right away. I think like a day after the album came out, but they're available. But I think it doesn't get counted, so the numbers are going to be obviously lower. But I think overall, it doesn't take a big chunk as people kind of make it seem. They try to make it seem like that's the case, like that's why it's happening. I think it's genuinely like people are just releasing not their best foot forward, and that's fine. Like, you're not going to always hit 100%. You can't
agree.
expect people to hit home runs every fucking time they go up to bat. It's impossible, especially if you're an artist that goes through real shit. Like, these guys go through real shit behind the scenes. So they're going to drop bodies of work that are not overall loved.
They gon' love me for my ambition.